Hello, guys. I hope you're doing well. I'm coming at you with the next excerpt of my first novel in my series, Black and White Odyssey of Eden. Let's get to it. The five of them had supplies enough to last them until their dying days, but the anguish of knowing that nothing lay above always weighed heavily on their consciences. They were trapped in this bunker, no more than a few thousand square feet, not even enough room for them all to have separate sleeping quarters. Though this was far larger than it was when they first started their work. And even so, it was rare that any of them thought of sleep for any extended period anymore. Matthew and Dmitri, both hardy and determined, took to carving away at the stone walls in their spare time in a futile effort to expand the bunker's boundaries. But without the proper tools, it was akin to cutting through steel with a butter knife. The two of them had resorted on many occasions to their bare fists, punching at weaker portions of the walls. Their scouring for resources, using the chamber limited by its other demanding tasks. No one knew or cared if it made any difference. Mostly, for the two of them, chiseling away at the walls was a distraction, and physical pain could at least temporarily take their minds off everything else. This was the unspoken agreement between Dmitri and Matthew, and fully understood by everyone. They had yet to spelunk about the various dead times of the universe in disparate continents and even worlds for tools or surviving technologies, but hopefully soon they would. Jessica was right, the scientist thought to himself, but he did not know if he truly still believed it. It was now nothing more than a mantra to him, a means by which he could remind himself of the one ounce of humanity still coursing through his veins. Jessica began to walk around the perimeter of the dark room, which itself was no more than 30 feet by 30 feet. She was nonchalant, kicking a rock on the ground with her worn-out shoes, faint smile seeping across the cragged, swollen skin of her face. Her hands were in the pockets of her soiled lab coat, which was in tatters at the bottom from several years of wear. She was clearly deep in thought, contemplating many of the same variables the rest of them had been contemplating, but from a distinctly different angle. Her full name was Jessica Weiler. She had been one of the last surviving engineers among the ranks of humanity, born far after the current era. She lifted her right hand out of her pocket with a determined, vivacious abruptness, only possible from a spirit that could not be doused. She pointed her index finger to the ceiling as she let out a hearty, heavy laugh, like that of a superhero dispatching an evil villain. You see, that's the key. Like taking an ice pick to a wall of diamond, she said, her gait developing a slight bounce, her head turned towards the others. Congratulations, said Tom energetically, a frantic and determined effort to stave off the expression of his grief. You are now 38,241 years, 2 months, and 16 days old, James. In your true linear time years. Thomas's eyes remained closed, so as to prevent more tears from flowing. His training, so long ago, was a constant reminder that hopelessness is a virus that expands to all, and must never be expressed if one can control it. He had stood valiantly, fought courageously before the fall, to do everything to prevent it. But his rank in the military meant nothing. All were mere pawns in a chess game, one without a victor. Jessica walked to him and placed her hand upon his shoulder. Thomas opened his damp eyes, startled. He towered over Jessica, who herself was not a particularly short woman. He looked down into her face and was met with her broad smile. 2,500 years ago, Could you have imagined even being able to damage the edifice? You very nearly had your hand inside of it, she said. And that's where I'll leave it for this one. I'll come at you with the next one later. Love y'all. Peace.